Good morning to all our viewers. Thank you very much for.
Good morning.
Yes, more Scotty. Can I talk first?
Go on, Phil.
I'd like to do an introduction. So, thank you. We were absolutely amazed by the first podcast and the messages and people seeking help. It was exactly what we wanted to achieve. I mean, we're not here to promote ourselves. We're not here to make money. It's just two guys having a chat about two idiots in recovery, having a chat and carrying a message, really carrying a message that hopefully you guys can relate to. We were supposed to bring this podcast out earlier, but unfortunately...
My fault on that one. Technicality.
Difficulty.
Technicality.
3 times we tried, no sound. So what the problem was is me being in IT for about 20 years, figured it out. We had to turn the mics on. So here we are.
Okay.
Mics are on and we're going to get rolling.
Yep, we definitely are.
We're planning to do this podcast every 2 weeks. We've got some exciting stuff lined up, some really, really exciting stuff on recovery. So please stay tuned, subscribe, like, share, do whatever it requires for us to carry the message.
Definitely.
We don't just want it within the local community. Our last podcast had approximately 900 views, which was
a good response.
Exceeded our expectations.
Definitely.
To be quite honest. So that's fantastic because I know the message is getting carried because of the people that have messaged me. But anyway, welcome to Two Idiots in Recovery. Scott, how you doing, mate?
I'm all right, buddy. How you doing?
Yeah,
you okay?
Well. I was thinking about your tattoo, and guess what?
What? You're not going to get one?
I'm getting one for the first time in my life at the age of 51.
On your arm. What are you getting, Phil? What are you getting?
I don't know if I should say.
Don't say. Let it be a surprise.
Yeah, let's do that, rather.
Yeah, I think it will look good. Right in the right spot on your forearm. Everybody can see. Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Well, this is the part where the interviewer in the previous podcast becomes the interviewee, Scotty. So he is going to give his side of the story. I'm not as good as him when interviewing people. I'm better at talking and answering.
Definitely are on that one.
So, and Scotty agrees with that, unfortunately. So we don't agree on much, but I do agree with that.
Okay.
So Scotty, I think, tell us a bit about your story. Maybe when you were younger. Yeah, just tell us your story.
A little bit of my story. Well, I won't go too long because I can go on for long. Born in 1982. I'm 42. Still think I'm 21, Phil. Oi. I grew around people drinking in my family. It was the word discombobulated comes to mind, Phil.
What?
Discombobulated, distorted. Discombobulated means distorted. Fucked up is the better way of putting it. I was trying to keep it P's and Q's, but since you used that word, Phil.
Only once.
Fair enough, I might use it once. So yeah, I grew up in Nottingham. I'm 42. My mother was an alcoholic. Like your mother, my mother passed away through the disease, as I wish I like to call it. My dad was an alcoholic. Probably wouldn't admit it, but he was an alcoholic. As a kid, seeing the ripple effect going around the ripple effect, my dad was an alcoholic. When I say, the consequence of alcohol, my dad got knocked over, and for the last 4 years of his life, he was paralyzed neck downwards by crossing the road, dancing, and a driver hit him and left him paralyzed. A childhood for myself was full of drink, drugs, probably the area. Family was riddled with drinking, drugs. Good family, bad family. I just seem to be around a lot of the bad influence of family.
Okay, so basically you grew up around alcoholism.
Yeah.
And you were around it all the time, and it was pretty much the environment you were in. Would you state that was
definitely the word discombobulated? I have a feel that we're both going to say that quite a lot. Discombobulated.
Okay.
But I grew around it as a young kid. I think I spoke to you privately about being put in care because of family diabetics, people drinking, and my life just went a different direction. I grew up in the care system because of my surroundings. society, family, the influences of people. So yeah, I grew around it as a kid.
Okay. I mean, that's, we do often wonder about our backgrounds and if trauma has any part to play.
A big part.
I mentioned in the first podcast that depression, anxiety, all those sort of things tend to be in alcoholics. But what can cause it? I mean, something that nobody really mentions is stress.
Depression, stress,
leads to depression, anxiety,
everything.
all that sort of stuff. Anyway, what were the consequences?
My consequences? Wow, good question, actually. I didn't expect that one. But the consequences for my drinking were the Jekyll and Hyde aspects of things. When I drink, I become very unpredictably dangerous towards people, myself, most importantly, leaving me with severe consequences of doing the younger years of my life, teenage years, my adulthood, younger adulthood. Basically, I grew up in the system of prisons, being moved around from all the dispersals along Lauren Franklin, Full Sutton. There's a bag of prisons that I got moved to because I was what you call a prolific offender, in and out of prison because of the influence of drink. Like I said, when I have a drink, it brings out an individual to other people and myself. So the consequences are I wake up in a police cell, not knowing what I've done before, blackouts, which was explained, end up going for the court procedure, then doing long birds. I've done 3.5 years, 5 years, 7 years, not to mention the times on remand, getting walkouts back in remand. Institutionalized comes to play when I mentioned about I grew up in the system. My 18s in the system, when I was 21 in the system, my younger 30s in the system, the day my son was born in the system. Yeah, I don't say that with a smile on my face.
How did you manage to have a son when you were in prison?
Well, yeah, no, it's not that they can't do that. Well, you can shag if you are that cup of tea, no disrespect. There's all different things that happen, believe me. But I did have a son. 2005, I had to move out of Nottingham because of things that were going on. The word on top comes to mind, police, etc. I moved to Nottingham where my mum was based and my sister in Southend. And I fell in love with my sister's best friend. And she gave birth to my son, who's now 16, which no, my sister's best friend, she's passed away. She died of cancer at 32. Not just saying that for the sympathetic things. But yeah, that's how I ended up in Southend of the Essex area. And from there, I came down in. I came down to this particular area and had a rookie start from the beginning, to be honest. I did start drinking and taking drugs and going out what I was doing, but it was severe. My last drink, which I explained to you about my fingers being chopped off, etc. And I'm here.
Tell the people watching what actually happened. and also, Scotty, I'd like to allude to the fact of you got given a life sentence for the consequences of it. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, I don't mind elaborating on it. In 2009, Phil.
Also vodka and
vodka, it's not that kind of party. Ribena.
I'm kidding.
Not in this household, it would never happen. My last in-depth offence, which I got convicted for, I got an IPP, Phil. IPP stands out for indefinite public protection sentence. They can give you a fit sentence from anything from 12 months to 9 years. You've got to do your sentence and then your license for the rest of your life of 99-year license. It's stopped now. They don't give out that sentence. It's actually been, without going too deep into it, it's against human rights, but people are still serving free. All the IP people that have done good to want to get out. So I ended up getting that sentence, and there was a technicality in my case which I got overdone. Yeah.
Sorry.
Go on.
I'm very impressed. You couldn't use that word earlier, technicality, and now you just said it brilliantly.
All the time, mate. It just comes to me. It's in there, Phil. It's in there. So I got 99 years, and then I got my conviction overturned. But the problem was, Phil, every time I got out of prison, I was drawn to an off license. I was drawn to a bar. I was drawn to the drink. I was drawn to something. I'd say changed the way I feel. I didn't know any different. I did not know any different until I got sent to hospital, high school, Rampton. Did a few things in there. Found out my diagnosis. took medication. I remember talking to you about medication. You was saying about how it flushes out your system when drinking, and that's what I was doing, Phil. I was taking my medication, expecting it to work, but at the same time, I was having massive binge drinking, and it just flushes.
I think a lot of people don't realize that when they're diagnosed with mental health issues,
Yeah,
and they're given medication, and then they drink on that medication then becomes ineffective and can actually make it worse. So if you're depressed and you start drinking, or you are an alcoholic and you're drinking, you will certainly get more depressed, and the anxiety will certainly get worse. And that's just personal lived experience. Not, I'm no doctor, I'm no GP, but I know that for a fact.
But ain't it funny? We blame the drink. It's not the medicine. It's so not blame the drink. We blame the mental health, but not what it was. The drink.
No, I've never blamed mental health. Although what I did mention earlier in the earlier podcast is the obsession of the mind and the obsession of the body. So the allergy that we have, which I never believed, and I truly believe that is factual to this day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've met your son, and he's a beautiful, beautiful kid.
He's a beautiful.
He must look up to you as a proper role model now. I mean, have you had any issues with him as a youngster?
To tell the truth, I've had a few flaws. I don't talk to my boy. I'm going to call him Logan. I don't mind. I don't talk to my. He wouldn't mind, no, because I love my boy to bits. So, what it is, I don't talk to my boy about my lifestyle where I've been in prison. He knows that I've done a lot of bad for horrible things, but with growing up myself, I grew up around impressionable adults that would feel the need to impress a child, and look what happened. The consequences of I lived a life that was different to a normal person growing up here because I looked up to these certain adults thinking it's cool with their impressionable behavior to a kid. So I don't talk rubbish to my son. I don't say I did this, I do that. I try, and what I'm trying to do with my boy is change the generational pass down with my kid, because I don't want him to be getting in trouble with the police and end up in prison and wasting his frigging life over stupidity. And he loves his dad in recovery. He's been to meetings with me and he supports me, and it's fantastic to have that. The only problem I probably had with my son is when he did come and live with me for a short while was his frigging socks that's been flicked in a pile in the corner, and everybody said that's just teenagers for you. So it was hard work, but he's a beautiful boy that supports his dad. I lost him on the stabbing part of my brother-in-law. He was actually in the house 1.5 months with his mum. I lost everything because of my decision of stabbing my brother-in-law. Why, Phil? Because he poured my drink down a sink. Under blackout, I did something that I wouldn't do if I was sober. But yeah, thank you for bringing my boy into the play. But I being in sobriety, Phil, and you hear it all the time because it happened to me. I had my boy, I tapped the mic, I see you looking.
Yeah, I don't tap the mic, please.
I had my boy knock on the door, and all right, Dad, with 2 of his little friends.
Oh, wow.
I was like, wow. You know,
it's
it was beautiful.
What sobriety gives you.
Oh, definitely, Phil.
I lost both my kids as well. I just love talking to them. I've
seen videos.
What they went through, and I promised I would never ever do that. It's something you live with, but you've got to try to shut the door on that. You don't shut the door on it, but you don't regret what you make a lesson, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I now have a beautiful relationship with both my daughters.
Yeah.
And it's a pity they knew the dad that was an alcoholic. Well, still is an alcoholic. But
that would never change.
I'm practicing recovery every single day. They know it. They can see it. And I think that makes them happy, you know?
Oh, definitely. Phil, I've seen a video of one of your daughters, and she is identical to the drama queen of her dad. She loves a little video. And she's a nice little girl. Nah, come on, I'm just saying. You're from Australia. You've got that in your bone.
There's only one queen in my life, and she's ice,
baby. Then now you got that song in me head.
All right, so you talk about the being brought up in the system.
Yep.
And so you had no role
I had no role model.
What advice would you give to youngsters that are finding themselves in a little bit of trouble now? They maybe think they're drinking quite excessively, taking drugs, whatever the case may be. They know they're not doing right. What advice would you give to them? for them to go on the right path and not to end up in the system?
My heart's beating on that one, because I'm probably going to say this as I would like to be told myself when I was young. One of my favourite sayings, show me your friends and I will show you your what? Future. Love that quotation. I wish someone said that as a young person, hanging around with the wrong people, not listening to my elders. What would I say to a young person? Prison is a mug's game. It's all hyper diaper when you're on the wings and that you see people, you socialise, but you see when that door shuts, Phil, that's when a real man knows he's lost in the system. You know, I know a lot of lifers within the dispersals that have fell out with someone just over maybe £15 or something. Stab. Took someone's life. The ripple affects all the family. Someone's lost their kid and someone's doing a big sentence. So, yeah, carrying knives was a big big part of my story. I've been stabbed a few times. I've stabbed people a few times. Carry a knife that's saying
If you
this.
tried to stab me, I would have shot you.
You probably would have different generations, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's there's a lot of people out there. You know, when I identify, Phil, why I carried a knife, and I say this because I feel like I'm speaking to young people. I carried a knife because I was scared, because I heard Billy Boy, whoever that is carrying a bigger knife, so I'm going to carry a knife, and I don't really want to carry a knife. And there's a saying which I tried to say a minute ago: if you carry a knife, you're going to stab someone or end up getting stabbed yourself, and it's a big ass sentence. For what? For what? There's this, you know, for what? And yeah, so I'd say to a young person that's struggling, drink is cool when you're young.
Yeah.
You can, it's fantastic, you know, experimenting and stuff like that, and doing what you're doing. But I speak for myself, it brought out a different person, and I didn't know that till I came in recovery, why, etc. But it's a fucking mugs game. It really is. It's a mugs game. Hanging around with the wrong people. You want to be a doctor, Phil, hang around with doctors. You want to be a dentist, hang around with dentist people. You want to be a builder, hang around with builders. Don't waste your life in the system, because you don't grow up and shut up.
Don't hang around with those that are going to lead you down a path of destruction.
Definitely, you know.
And you can pick that up. I've been extremely privileged in my life
Yeah.
to have such good friends. They've been hell of a supportive. It had nothing to do with them for me becoming an alcoholic.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm actually the opposite to you. I was surrounded by good people. I was, you know,
Phil.
but you see, it doesn't discriminate. It can add too, but
No, it don't. No, it don't.
I think the difference is here with a lot of people that have backgrounds to alcoholism
Yeah.
are probably more susceptible to you know, impressing their peers, drinking more, taking drugs, encouraging their peers to do that. I don't know. That's just food for thought. That's what
That's
I would
a lot.
say. Yeah. So okay. So young people is my personal drive. I see so many of them coming to the rooms and leave.
Yeah.
You know, I just wish they would stay and save themselves 25 years of grief.
Definitely,
30
you
years
know.
of grief, pain, suffering. It's a very dark hole when you're there. You
It
talked about
is.
blackout. Now, I never knew about blackout.
Yeah.
You know, it's only recently since I've been walking around
Pretty
town
deep.
and
It's
stuff.
pretty deep.
Everyone's coming and some real scaly
Let me-
characters are coming up to me and saying, "Hello, Phil," and I don't know.
Bamboozled. Don't let me
I
shit.
know
Said that
who
story
they
to
are.
me.
No
Oh
clue who
man.
they are, but yeah, Scotty, it's look. We talk about binge drinking. Okay, you classify yourself as a binge drinker, right?
Alcoholic, but I was a binge drinker.
Yeah. What's the difference? Well, how do you classify you into different classes?
To myself, I wasn't an everyday drinker. The drink never caught me.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen it and I've witnessed it with yourself. So I'm going to put that there quickly. But with a binge drinker, I'd go out, get smashed, completely smashed. I'd drink till I drop. Yeah, I only heard that saying and then I could identify it. I drink until I drop, and I don't know what I've dropped when I wake up in the morning with consequences. But with consequences with myself, Phil, after 3 weeks, I could stop drinking for 3 weeks. It could be 4 weeks. It depends what the consequences are, what I'm facing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then when it's all settled, new word, I'd be back out there again. I'd look in my mirror that used to fool me going, I'm the bollocks, I'm going out tonight.
I know.
But you know, at the end of the night, Phil, I'd be back in my own gaff, not so nice the way it is now, with my curtains shut, my LED lights on, my music on, thinking I'm the bollocks on the phone to people going, yeah, I've just got back, I've had amazing time and good food. I haven't, Phil.
Yeah, but you not only did that, you did send a picture of your private parts to your grand. Yeah,
Mate, I'm never going to live that down, am I? Yeah, the joke behind that.
What was your grand's reaction to that?
Yeah, I'm definitely my dad's child.
Oh, we need to enlarge.
I've got to explain that, Phil.
Okay,
you can't just drop that. I had two people in my phone with the same name. And what I've done at night time, being out my nut, is that I've tapped it and I've accidentally sent it to my grandma, my mantelpiece, thinking it's another lady's name. How I lived that down. I don't know about that, Phil. You know what I mean? But hey. But yeah, we do stupid things. Don't make me share stories that you do under the influence of drink, Phil, because there's a massive list of them. I need a big piece of paper.
Well, we've already done me in the first podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm in the.
We do stupid things that we wouldn't do if we were sober, Phil.
Absolutely.
Going back to your question, and I think you said it like speaking to the camera of young people. I wish I could do this when I was young. I'm going to sing off the same hymn sheet. I wish I knew about this life, this type of life, when I was young. I wish I had guidance, which I get from AA. Shouldn't say the AA, but it is what it is. Fellowship, but it's AA to me. Recovery's on my name. But I wish I had the guidance, because I get a lot of guidance that I never had as a young person, even in a adulthood now, from all the rational adults that have a bit of recovery and that have got 5 minutes. My dickhead friends are not in, huh? I haven't got no dickhead friends. Other than the friends on my phone are all AA related.
Fellowship related.
Fellowship, sorry, sir. But that's where it is, Phil.
Yeah, look, I know in our first podcast we added quite a bit of humor, and there's probably a few people out there that watched it and thought, you know, I'm really struggling. Look at these guys laughing in recovery and whatnot, and probably having a resentment towards us. Which,
that's their issue.
Funny enough, the biggest problem with the alcoholics, resentment. And the reason why we're laughing is because we found recovery.
Yeah.
I didn't laugh or smile for 2 years until I met this bugger in the table. And so, yes, take it with a pinch of salt. We don't want it to be so serious like you hear. We don't want it to be professional like Steve Bartlett and whatnot. This
good advertisement.
Literally a phone recording us having a chat. Two idiots in recovery. Subscribe, like, and share.
Yeah,
Please,
feedback.
You are the guys that are going to help us spread this message. And we need it to be spread because people are dying. This is a serious, serious disease. And the point we're trying to get across is that you can get it. You can click. You can get it.
Oh, definitely.
But you just got to take. They say there's a 12-step program.
13.
I say there's 13. Because the first step is you've got to walk through those
doors. Yeah.
Walk through those doors.
Scary, but it can be done.
Come back. You might not like that first meeting. You
and
might
stay.
not like the second. You might not like the third, but just keep coming back. Even, I hate to say it, if a relapse, most people get embarrassed and don't want to go back to the groups.
That's a killer.
We don't judge. We've all been.
Definitely.
We've all got a similar mentality, mind. In fact, you know that alcoholics are the highest IQs. Only one exception.
Yeah, I knew he was going to point at me. He's not going to point at me. Yeah, you know, Phil, you said that there, you know, shitting yourself, wetting your pants, you know, waking up in the bed with someone you don't know, nickname Mary Dave, whatever that may be, you know, doing things that you wouldn't do if you were sober. Isn't it great being sober, not doing them things? Fucking great.
I actually thank my higher power every day for the sobriety. one day at a time.
I've got to share this. Technicality, love that word again. The phone, Phil sat there on that chair, stressing, oh, we've got to get it right with the microphones. And he goes, higher power, help. 2 minutes later, guess what? The bloody camera started working. Yeah. It's not a game. No, yeah, definitely not.
It's serious. And I figured that out pretty quickly. You know,
to avoid all the pain.
So going back to the binge drinking, I got a question from a very good friend of mine. And her question was, she's a problem drinker, but she doesn't think she's an alcoholic because she can go months without drinking. So my advice to her was, okay, if you think you've got a problem, you probably do. All right, you probably do. Doesn't mean you're necessarily an alcoholic. But the test is, and it's in the big book, the test is, the ultimate test is go to a party and whatever your preference of drink is, let's say it's wine or beer, have 2 of and stop. If you can stop, you're probably not alcoholic. If you can't stop, you're definitely alcoholic. So, yes, try that test if you're thinking about it. If you can stop, because an alcoholic cannot stop. It's that first drink. And what you've got to realize is you pick up that first drink, you're going back to the same place you were.
Straight
If you're
down.
getting remorse of what you said the night before, if you're regretting, if people are saying you
Unmanageable.
were out of order, if you got aggressive, you've got a problem with drink. It's not agreeing with you.
Yeah, it's not you, it's the
You've
drink.
got to see that. So you know, do something about it. Because I promise you, sobriety is the best gift of life. And more youngsters are doing it, I believe, throughout the world, not drinking.
It's becoming cool.
I can't believe how my life has changed in the last 9 months. It's just 9 months. 9 months, my life has totally changed.
Magical.
I mean, I'm working with the system now to help others. Scotty is, and I've got to take my hat off to him. He's always there for the newcomer. He always shares from the heart. Very powerful shares. And we want to get people to stay.
Come back.
There's nothing more important to us than the newcomer. And, you know, I even on my gratitude list every night, I wrote last night that we had a newcomer who seems like she really wants to stay. And that's brilliant, you know, and that's what it's all about. We just want to carry the message. So, guys, I think on that, subscribe
And like, definitely.
and share.
Feedback
Right?
is
If
important.
you want to message me, you can message me on my Facebook profile. It will say profile locked, but I think you can still message. So do that, or just drop a thumbs up, or if you want, comment on. I'm going to post this on my Facebook profile. It's obviously going to be posted
And
on
YouTube, LC.
and it will be Addiction and Recovery number 2. So please, guys, keep this going. Like I said, we've got some really interesting ideas. One of them is to have somebody on the other side, i.e. from that suffered with an alcoholic.
Fantastic.
We're going to have ladies in alcoholism. We're going to have a sponsor that's had.
We're going to have to make the room a bit bigger, Phil.
We're going to have to make the room bigger. We're going to have to test a lot more. And we're going to
Yeah.
have to
Test the
somehow
microphones.
get better at this. I mean, I want 2 idiots in recovery in the back of the fire. I mean, it's bloody 35 degrees outside and we've got a fire burning on the TV.
Phil, it's all in the background. It's, you know, we've discussed about the
Anyway,
fire display
any
and
ideas?
yeah, definitely
Any
need them.
suggestions? Just bear in mind, we don't want to go professional. Okay, it's not about money. This is about helping others.
We are professional ex-drinkers, professional.
We're professional idiots.
Oh, definitely.
So everything you see is just us, and that's what we want it to be. We don't want the fancy stuff. We just want to carry the message. So if you're listening to this, carry it
Subscribe,
forward. Get someone to subscribe, like. Now that sounds like promotion, but it's promotion for us to carry the message through you. That's all it is.
On that note,
So on that note, Scotty, thank you for
Phil,
your story.
no, thank you for your great interviewing skills.
Was it great?
Oh, it's fantastic, lad. Fantastic.
I love it.
I'll let
Anyway.
you turn the camera off.
Cheers, guys. Thank
Take
you very
care.
much.
In a
Take
bit.
care. Be safe. One day
At a
at
time.
a time.
Boom.
Boom. I'm going to turn the camera off now.
You just copy my boom.
Boom.
Boom.